I know the last devlog was a long time ago. They might be more frequent again in the future.
Well, here we are now, so let's get this going. Hey everyone, I'm Destic and welcome to the 4th devlog of Project Z9. Yep, the last devlog was 8 months ago, but there's a good reason, so let's jump right into it. Today, we'll be talking about our new character models, weapon-related updates, the new status effect system, and a couple of other things. Let's start with the new character models. Thanks to the concept artist Gabriel from our Discord, we were able to create our own unique character concepts. However, this meant that I had to create 2 entire new characters from scratch. Just to summarize the workload, I had to create new 3D models, texturize them, create their individual rigs, and remake almost all animations. We're talking about over 100 animations here. Since I never dealt with this whole pipeline myself, I needed time to research the topic, test things out, and fail a couple times. But in the end, it all worked out, and I think it was worth the time. And here they are! Their variety is quite limited at the moment, but over time we'll be able to add more and more vanity items. While being on the topic for characters and customization, let's also talk about the updates on the inventory, mainly the preset and filtering system. The preset system allows you to create up to 10 individual presets. Upon creating a new preset, it prompts you to pick a gender. You can't change the gender of a preset once it's created, however you can delete it through the right-click menu on the associated button. Each preset can have a descriptive short text that is shown when you hover over the preset button. Since you can have up to 10 presets, this also means that each item can have up to 10 different variants. Hopefully this will be enough freedom for you. Now that we have male and female items in the inventory, I had to start filtering them, so I've decided to update it all together. The items now have a designated alphabetical order, and you can filter them further through the buttons on the top. Currently we don't have a lot of things to make use of it, but its benefits will quickly grow over time as we add more items to the game. Next, let's talk about weapon-related updates. We've added 2 new weapons to our arsenal, the baseball bat and the dual gauntlets. Both weapons have a clear resemblance to weapons known from S4 League. The baseball bat in S4 League was favored by a lot of people, even though it only had 3 types of attacks. A heavy attack, an air attack, and a special spin. I've tried to maintain the feeling of brutally destroying your enemy with a baseball bat, but also tweaked a couple of features and added new ones. Let's first go over the similarities. The old heavy attack and the air attack basically stayed the same. You can combo from the air attack into the heavy, and upon critting both and hitting someone into a wall, they will die. The special spin was something I wanted to tweak a bit and see how it feels. The old spin might still make a comeback, but for now the attack style has changed. Upon using the special attack, your character does a frontal leap, spinning the bat around you and smashing it into the floor, dealing AoE damage. This can also be comboed into the heavy attack. And now, to the new mechanic of the baseball bat, the home run. Upon holding the primary attack button, your character will spawn a baseball and smash it forward with the bat. Yes, the baseball bat has a range attack now. I always felt like the bat was a bit undertuned since it only had 3 attacks, so I think this might make it more interesting. The home run is not something you want to spam though, as it puts you into quite a long animation lock. The ball also cannot crit, so it will always only deal base damage. It's supposed to be a high risk, medium reward mechanic. Coming up next are the dual gauntlets, which are supposed to take the place of the counter sword. It has a quick 4-hit light combo that moves you forward slightly with each hit and can be comboed into the heavy attack. The heavy attack is a strong uppercut that causes knockback to targets in front of the caster. Just like in S4, the air attack makes you crash into the ground like a meteor, causing a slight interrupt. It can also be comboed into the heavy attack. And lastly, the special attack. I was never a big fan of the ability to permanently and almost instantaneously trigger a block that stuns any players that hit into it. The mechanic itself was interesting, but implemented in a way that didn't feel very rewarding. So instead of a permanent forward block, the player will now perform a short parry. This means that you need to thoroughly think about when to use the ability, instead of just spamming it whenever. Upon successfully parrying a melee attack, the player will become invulnerable for a short period of time, allowing them to punish the attacker. I've also planned to implement a type of enhanced attack on successful parries, something like a quick counter attack, but I'll check that out in the future. There are a few more weapon related updates, one being input queuing. Most probably know what this does, but for the ones clueless, it's a system that supports you on your attacks to make comboing easier and often more fluent. Here you can see the impact of the system side by side. Left is without input queuing, right is with. Currently it's activated by default, but I might add a functionality in the future to disable it for anyone who wants to try extra hard. I've also decided to change the way air attacks work. Air attacks that are fully vertical will now drop you all the way to the ground before dealing damage. This means you can currently use your Tesla blade or baseball bat to tremendously increase your fall speed. It prevents you from failing to hit the target when jumping from things like roofs, and it might also come in handy in future map designs. Next, let's talk about the new status effect system. I've already scratched the surface of the topic a little, as the iframe state is part of it. This new system allows us to easily add new status effects such as stunning, silencing, rooting, or buffs and debuffs for values such as movement, damage or stamina. And now some topics that aren't worth categorizing. In the last devlog I showed that there were a lot of network issues currently in the game, and that the touchdown game mode was equally as broken. These two topics were tackled immediately, and through playtests I can confirm that both issues are now fixed. Something you might have noticed by now is that your character does not have an outline anymore. I've decided to remove them for your team since I prefer the new characters without it. However, the outline is still used for a variety of things, such as enemies, dealing or taking damage, and successfully recovering from a knockback. The training room was sort of broken after I added a proper lobby system, so I had to spend time fixing it. While doing so, I also added the functionality to open your inventory and change your gear while in the training room. This way you can test weapons and abilities easily or play around with different costumes to see how they feel in game. Chances are I forgot something, but for now I think that sums up all the updates on the project. There's so many things happening in the background, such as map design and other topics, but I will talk about them once they're ready, so stay tuned. And with that, we've reached the end for today. Since I'm as inconsistent as it gets with these devlogs, I can't tell you when I'll do the next. I'm constantly working on the project though, and some things just take a lot of time. However, if you want to see more consistent updates, I suggest you join our Discord through the link in the description. For now, thanks for watching and have a happy new year.